on the record.
This is the Environmental Protection Commission regular meeting agenda for Wednesday, October 2, 2019. Old business, EPC 37, 2019, Kenneth and Lauren White, 23 Lighthouse Way, proposing a replacement house and related site disturbance in an upland review area. The site is shown on Assessor's Map number 53 as lot number 31. I believe all the members have a draft of the approval. And so, anybody have any questions, comments, or I was okay with this? Anything?
Nope. I did watch Channel 79,
Okay.
so that you know, for the record, and I have no comments on this.
Okay. So may I have a motion to approve? Thank you. Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next piece of old business is EPC 36, 2019. Caleb Clark and Nicole Orr, 15.5 Mile Road, proposing walking trail in a regulated area and invasive species removal and wetland plantings. The site is shown on Assessor's Map number 2 as lot number 31.
You have a draft approval, but Josh is here. If you had, I think you wanted to hear about the...
Yeah, I want to get on the record.
Yeah.
Okay, because Michael Irvin raised a question as there were 90, the applicant said 92 footings, and they were going to be concrete. How are you going to get concrete in there? And so we left it at that. They were going to take a look at it. So if you would kindly resolve that, we can move on.
Do I need to restate my name and all
Yes.
that stuff?
Yes, please.
Josh Woldridge with Glengate,
Could you spell your last name, please?
WOO, excuse me, LDRIDGE.
Thank you.
So after the last meeting, we went back and had a conversation about that and found an alternative method, which was using a composite footing pad, which would not require any use of concrete. So excavation, put the footing pad at the bottom at the 42-inch depth, and then the post can rest right on top of it. So we won't require any concrete for use of footings.
Good.
That's great.
Okay. That was it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and you will submit revised,
I think that
Plans?
detail is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that plan. So you have those. Okay, that's all.
I have that detail.
As part of the record. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That's a very important clarification from my
Is
perspective.
this property, how are they removing the invasive species?
How are we removing the invasives? Either mechanically or biologically. It's kind of what I explained in this the reiteration here. But it's the mechanical methods would just be by hand, essentially. So going through within the areas where the path is laid out, and then just areas maybe 2 feet or so on either side of the path, and removing invasives in those areas. They were working with goats on their property as well. So the goats actually got hungry, and one of them jumped the fence because they ate everything in that area. So it worked well. But with that application, they actually have to do more than one treatment. So they eat the leaves. It starts to kill the plant that way, and then they have to sometimes do it again. So that
Sure.
might be reintroduced potentially if needed.
Did they capture the goat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently took a headlamp, at least 2 kids and an adult.
Okay, good.
So,
Well, next time we'll call you, Jim.
Goats and the wilderness.
Go get your goat. All right. Thank you.
oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any commission members have any change here to modifications, questions?
Just for
Yep.
Rich,
Oh, spell it.
you had a little spelling maybe. Kurt,
Oh, it's
double
Clark.
check.
Yeah, it's, what is it? It's no E.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a motion to approve. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Gunnar. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving to new business. DPC 40, 2019. Michael Donahue, 765 Hollow Tree Ridge Road. proposing a two-lot subdivision and construction of a new house and related site disturbance in a regulated area and upland review area. This site is shown on Assessor's Map number 3 as lot number 38. Mr. DeVesta.
Good evening, Doug DeVesta, professional engineer, represent the applicants. We've got a 5.025 acre parcel, looking to cut it into 2 lots. This is the existing conditions map. What I'm showing on here in green is the outline of the wetlands. On the western side of the property, basically on the west side of the existing stone wall, there's a finger of wetland that comes down into a lawn area. So this is all manicured lawn. There's a driveway coming from Hollow Tree Ridge Road up and around to the garage area, and there's a tennis court in there. So that's basically the overall picture of the subdivision. Calculated approximately 72,600 square feet of wetlands between this piece, and a little pocket right on the west side of the driveway and north of the tennis court. So what we're looking to do is take and subdivide it, the parcel. Well, that will require is, we saw the pre-existing condition, the driveway came up like this and around. But we require, take an existing driveway, remove it, put a new driveway in for the existing house, would cross the finger of wetlands, and then create a new house and driveway utilizing the same driveway access or curb cut from Hollow Tree Ridge Road. Septic area, septic area for the potential lot would be down here, reserve area here for the existing house. The red lines you see are the upland review area. Got some detention in the back for the runoff from the house and driveway, and potential pool area. With the existing conditions, which you'll see here, of the driveway and tennis court and the house, we've got approximately 27,800 square feet of impervious surfaces. Removing a portion of the driveway and the tennis court, the impervious area, including this new section of the driveway, existing driveway, house, and this proposed house and driveway, around 25,000 square feet. So we have a reduction in impervious area, so which is big. I think that's a good thing to happen. We will require approximately 653 square feet of wetlands filling through for the wetlands for that new driveway. If you've been by this property, you know it's basically a manicured lawn all in the front here, but it was flagged by Auto Theo April of this year, and it was determined to be wetlands. So we will be doing quite some refilling in that area. We'll do some mitigation work on that, mitigate the filling of that wetlands with at least maybe 1 to 2 times that amount of mitigation for the wetlands that we're filling there. I believe this is going to go to a public hearing. At that point, our client has retained Matt Popp from Environmental Land Solution to do an environmental analysis of the property, and Matt and I will work together before the next hearing to come up with a mitigation area for the wetlands that we are filling here, and talk a little more about our drainage and things like that with that. So that's kind of where we are right now. Just a quick overview of the project. I know it's going to go to public hearing, but just want to give you an overview of the project itself. Yes.
Is the existing tennis court, is that considered impervious at this point or not?
No, yes, it is impervious, correct.
I looked at it. Is it a clay court or is it an asphalt?
I think it's asphalt. I believe it's asphalt, yes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't really tell.
It's painted green, but I believe it is asphalt out there, yeah. I mean, that's right there is 7,200 square feet of impervious surfaces.
So that's going to disappear, right?
Correct, correct.
So we still require the fresh metal approach.
Right.
So there's actually, it'll go beyond.
Well, again, getting on that point there, what I did is because this lot here is existing.
Oh, okay.
And it's not being raised or modified, so all we're doing is taking the driveway, putting a new driveway in here. So I kept that as a developed lot, but this lot here, I looked at being basically fresh metal.
Okay.
Take the tennis court off, taking the driveway off, and then looking at it with the proposed house, pool area and things like that. So that's the approach I took on this thing. And we show a slight reduction.
So the driveway on the south lot, that one, that's existing driveway right now, right?
I'm utilizing the existing curb cut and then just modifying it a little bit I looked at a couple different options with the house. I had the house back further, and it pushed it back further. We have no area for kind of detention and things like that, because I had to watch out for the septic system, had to put a well on here and things like that. So I pushed the house a little further forward to allow area for detention and keep it well away from the septic area itself. So, and I made an L-shaped house out of it to try to keep linear, because again, you got the setback line here for the building setback. We have a wetlands piece here as well. So we're trying to squeeze a lot into that little area now. So I want to try to protect this tree here. There's a 40-inch oak, trying to protect that tree as well. So that's kind of my rationale and thinking behind the house placement. Again, this is only conceptual, but it's a good sized house. So hopefully this is kind of a plan they would come up with in the future.
Okay, one of the questions I will have next time, please don't have to know, is basements. Basements,
Right.
and we'll get to the perk.
Yeah.
And so we'll get to that, because it is obviously low-lying there, and there's a lot of wetlands, so I imagine there's a high water table, but, I'm sure you'll have the answer.
No
So
basement
that
house,
would-
no, I would try, I try to encourage, especially builders nowadays, to try to encourage to keep the house up,
Yep.
more basement, stuff like that, but, their customers want full basements and stuff like that, so it gets pretty hard to figure that out. But we'll
No,
figure out
and
drainage.
they can have a full basement, but.
But it's gotta be sure you have
but
water.
It'll be a bit, I'm not sure what they call that, bathtub, what do they
Since
call it?
they can only develop half of it anyway, in terms of living space, doesn't, can you convince them to have like a crawl space under the portion that can't be
Yeah,
developed?
well, again, this is only conceptual right
Yeah.
now, we know that situation, they said no basement, then new basement came, full basement came in on one property here in town here, which I was involved with this commission, and, that becomes an issue, so.
No, it's, but.
Yeah, I know it's a-
No, this is your first time in front of us, so you understand where we're coming from.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
And so, no, because that would be because, I'm hung up on, some pumps going 724. Okay, and because I just don't think that adds too much water to whatever existing wetlands is there, and that's not our point, is we want to keep it the way it is as opposed to, so anyway, that's the point. Okay, well, listen, we are going to have a public hearing on this.
I have one more question.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, just thinking on the pool, because right now how it's drawn is kind of sitting in a lawn, which is lovely, but having seen enough of these, I'm expecting that there's gonna be some kind of terracing that goes out and connects the house to the pool.
Yeah.
So just thinking about if there's gonna be some more coverage that,
Much more impervious surface.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of houses now do just have grass up to the edge of the coping and stuff like that too, but again, this is only conceptual, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will have to be obviously designed and engineered, it might have to come back, it's up to the commission to say, again, is it approvable for two-lot subdivision, yes or no? And you might, as a condition, have us come back with the final footprint and things like that. At that point, we have to do more detail for pools and stuff like that, yes.
On the fourth page of the application, under, I think it's paragraph 6E or item 6E, on the first sentence it says, the method of construction for the relocated driveway will consist of removing trees. Any feel for how many trees, what kind of trees, that sort of thing? Where they,
We've got two trees, like evergreens right here where the house is, and they're evergreen right in here. So looking at about three trees here, the house, and several pine trees along Hollow Tree Ridge Road. There's some mature evergreens in that area, so a few trees, three trees for the existing driveway, and 3 or 4 trees for the potential proposed house and driveway.
Yeah, Rich,
Yes.
Joe Connors?
I was going to bring that up. I think I'd like to just have Joe review it. I have no idea what kind of interest there's going to be, but it takes the burden off Darren, and Joe can come to a meeting in case there are questions.
Sure.
So I can, with the commission's permission, I can authorize him to start, once we get the applicant's a proposal and then the applicant's check in advance, and then Joe's pretty quick. I think he can, if we get that timely, I'll, have him get that.
And Joe will be the same person used by P&Z also.
Yes, yeah.
So it makes sense that you get the same guy. No, okay. I think that's good. So anyway, we'll see you in a month.
I need a motion.
November,
Oh, you need a motion to move to a public hearing?
Yes.
May I have a motion to put this to public hearing?
As-
Thank you,
In
Kelly.
the public interest.
And as a second, thank you, Gunnar,
Gee.
for thinking about it. So,
So our
All in
time
favor?
this week-
Yeah.
so that's going to be when now?
November 6th.
November 6th, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if we can get that done ahead of time for the commission then. And I guess Joe wants to see that revised plans too, I assume, so. Okay, thank you.
yep, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, request for one-year permit extension, EPC 25-2014, Ellie Edgelin, 210 Leroy, proposing a swimming pool within an upland review area. This site is shown on Assessor's Map number 6 as lot number 3. The permit was transferred to Christy Irwin and expires November 4, 2019. What's the story behind this
Well,
one?
when the builder proposed it as a spec house,
Yep.
he designed a pool, including the drainage for that, and got approval. The new person, Ms. Irwin decided, now she wants to do the pool. At the time, they didn't build it right away. So she's still got a month on that permit, and she got a building permit. They did pretty much everything they needed to do. I think there might be a few plants that we might ask them to replace, but they created a buffer, and the only thing they didn't do was install the pool itself. So
Okay.
they installed the drainage, they did planting, and it's, extensions are typically routine unless there's some glaring reason why not to give them an extension. That's how the statute reads.
Well, I just want to make sure you mentioned that there was some plantings and things like this. That we
Well,
may-
it's pretty
that
minor.
we may want to.
Pretty minor, really.
Okay.
I mean, they created the buffer, and I saw a few invasives in there. It's been, 3 years, 4 years
And
since they
so
completed
you'll
the
be
house.
able to use your powers of persuasion?
I don't see why not to
Okay.
have them, and the contractor is also a landscape designer, and they seem fine with
Okay.
doing whatever they.
So you want us to take a vote on this?
Do they
Yes.
actually plan to put it in the next year?
The pool,
Like in the
it's
spring?
they got a building permit for
Okay,
it,
but
yes.
they haven't started digging the hole?
They were hoping to be done within the next
Hey,
month or so. They wanted to be done by November 4th.
But they're just not sure.
Not
they
of
can
this
be.
year.
they
Yes.
can't, they can't.
They wanted to, yeah, well, they got the building permit a month ago.
So
So-
they need this, so.
Yeah, so I just said, I don't want the permit to expire before everything is absolutely finished.
Yeah.
So a year is more than enough, because they should be done this fall, including the planting and everything.
Okay. perfect.
Okay. So may I have a motion to approve a one-year permit extension?
You wanna go first?
All right, thank you, Gunnar. Thank you, Kelly. All in favor? Good. Okay, Rich, this one's on you. The status update, EP 6, 2018,
Yes,
Brookside Darien LLC, 25 Brookside Road, two-lot subdivision and related site development.
Yep, this was approved by this commission and denied by the Planning and Zoning Commission, the two-lot subdivision. The applicant appealed, and they are in the process of drafting a settlement agreement, which will allow for two homes, smaller homes, smaller footprints, as I understand it. I don't know all the details. One thing I know for sure is the conservation easement's gonna be a little bigger. So, I don't think it needs to.
Along the river.
Along the river. So I don't think it's gonna change anything in your conditions. We wrote the conditions.
The house is not going to be closer to the water.
Correct.
They're not going to infringe on the upland review area more than they are.
If anything, less.
Okay,
Right, and if the conservation easement's bigger, the conditions you had for inspecting that and maintaining it would be the same. So,
all right. You read it, Rich, and
Yeah.
then give me a call, let me
the
know. So-
easement language will be, prepared by Bob Maslin, submitted to John Louisa. Well, it's already been sort of in a draft form, and whenever I don't know how long this settlement's gonna take. It could be a week, it could be 2 months. They have to go back in front of a judge and
Well,
work out all the other details beside the conservation easement, but we do have a draft of it. If John reviews it and we're good with it, you would be signing it at some point, so. I
Is
can
the-
send it to you when it's, I can send it,
Sorry.
I usually send it to you.
Okay.
Is the existing house that's there, that's now in terrible repair, is that being torn down? Because you said there are going to be two smaller homes.
2 houses, yes. Well, I'm not certain what the settlement is related
With the
to
existing.
the size of the homes.
Okay.
That detail I don't know. All I know is, excuse me, they won't be more into the floodplain and your review area. And you will have a bigger easement, a larger easement, a wider.
And they're gonna clean up that whole mess up
it's a mess.
on the far side of the river between Wheeler Real Estate and,
Yeah.
and the Goodwife, the tributary there.
Yeah.
Because that's not nice right now, so that's pretty messy. You must see it every time you come down.
Oh, every day, and it's, that they were able to, it sounds like, drafting a solution to whatever challenges this developer's had, it'll hopefully be good for him and good for the next door neighbors. There's almost a virtually brand-new house right next to this house, and
Yeah.
they must look at this eyesore.
Yeah.
So overall, it sounds like it'll be good for Lower Brookside Road.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good. Okay, discussion of the watershed stewardship education program. I assume that's what you just handed out.
Oh, no, that
No.
was an invitation to a meeting, a concert.
Oh, okay.
Khaki.
So that's
I have
the,
nothing new on it.
no, hey, Jim.
Yes.
You weren't around last meeting, and so, so we kept missing each other, so what I was gonna do is, hey, if you could look at your calendar, get some dates to me, so I can include Rich and Susan in the calculation, and if you guys wanna join, I'll circulate it.
Great.
So that we can, start nailing down this brochure that, that Susan was working on. Remember, we did that
Yep.
back in July, so.
I do.
And so, and then we can talk about the Board of Realtors and stuff like that, get some feedback there, but it's just to make sure that people understand what they're getting into when they get,
Yeah,
wetlands and.
Once it's, you have a master, I guess, from the printer, I guess it would be. We did have some ideas about funding and printing. We have some in the budget.
Good.
We can figure out how many and
Sure,
how to distribute them. And
sure.
No, we're around. The two of us, Kathleen and I, are toying with jumping on a big airplane to celebrate a big anniversary, but that's not for a while.
Congratulations.
Do you need board approval for that?
That's not for the record.
Is it
Maybe
included in
it
the
is
budget?
for the
or not?
record.
I don't, and you sure you have a budget for this, because, if it's not budgeted, then, of course, there'll be a capital expenditure.
That's right.
All right,
No, shoot me some dates and we'll
Okay.
absolutely make it work.
okay, great, thank you. Looking at the minutes of the meeting,
I have two little corrections. Yep. Down at the very last sentence on the very bottom, it says not own the property. It says than, I think it should be then
Yep.
instead of
Correct.
than. And kind of in the middle of the next page, I asked, Mr. Woolridge said that they have not recognized
Yeah, I got that
any
too.
that. I'm not sure what that should read.
yeah, that's,
Oh,
Impacted or
that
something.
will be,
Any.
that will,
Delete that, any, and we'll adjust the top, just take that out.
yep.
Just above that, Rich, I thought, in respect of the land trust and the importance of what they do in this town, they should be called with initial caps, the Darien Land
Yeah,
Trust,
the Darien Land Trust, yep.
as opposed to lowercase.
No, I got it, yep.
yep.
That was all I had.
Yep. Yep, okay.
I'll move.
May I have a motion to approve? Thank you,
So
Ms.
moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mr. Adelson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, that's the minutes. Any other business by anybody? No? Okay, we'll see you November 6th,
Yes,
which is day after Election Day, and,
yes, okay.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
so may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Jim, you do something.
Thank you for seconding it, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Great, thank you. Good night, Channel 79.